All right. So, I try to keep everything as close as I can to, what I'm gonna do nutrition wise, training for the race and everything. But the biggest difference is right now I'm just not training because of the arm. So I don't have as much hunger. I'm not as hungry usually. For breakfast, I would usually have some egg whites, a couple of whole eggs, and then some whole wheat toast with half a serving of butter and some jelly. But instead, I'm only doing my morning stack, which you saw um, is the BCAs, the Strong Res from BPN, and Strong Joints from BPN, which I'm not sponsored by. I just really like their product, and some glutathione for immunity, and probiotic, same thing. Toss some apple cider vinegar, helps with gut health. But it's also really good for the ruptured bicep because the BCAs are going to help, fuel that muscle. It's going to help the joints around the elbow. It's going to help the tendon repair and get all kind of nutrients in there. I'll probably also take a 1 a day vitamin on top of that just to make sure I'm getting extra nutrients. And then obviously immunity you want, not just because of the COVID and everything else, and it's flu season, but you don't want to get an infection or anything like that after surgery. So I'm going to down this throughout the day. It'll probably take me 10 minutes to drink it, and on to the next meal. Hey, how you doing? So it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Decided I'm a little bit hungry. So I'm making this beef, almost like a beef vegetable soup. We've got some mushrooms, diced red onions, green onions, broccoli, um, some seasonings like salt, pepper. Um, there's some smoked paprika, some chili powder, things like that. And then it's 1 part beef broth with organic bone broth. And I'm not sponsored or anything, obviously. So we're going to let this simmer up for about 30 to 40 minutes, and then we're going to cook our beef. And there's probably 12 ounces there, so this might be 1 or 2 meals. Now, I know this isn't a whole lot of calories. Like I said earlier, I'm not really doing a whole lot. I'm laying in bed and I'm walking around, but I'm not training or anything like that this week, so my expenditure is super low, so I don't need a whole lot of calories. But the great thing about this meal is, even though it's really low calorie, it's packed full of super dense nutrients. You got the collagen and protein in the broths, and the bone broth particularly is really good for after surgery, because that collagen is going to help the tendons and the muscles get into the bones. Then you've got all the micronutrients that's boiling out from the vegetables into the broth, which you'll drink. And when those nutrients boil out, your body's going to use that to repair itself and rebuild. Same with beef. Beef has a whole bunch of good nutrients in it, and also when you boil it down, that's just going to add more to the broth and stuff, and you're getting some more BCAs naturally, which is great. So this will be my first real meal of the day, and then I'll check in with you guys later if there's another meal. All right, sitting here enjoying my soup. I want to talk a little bit more about this um, bone broth and what makes it so good, especially in this situation, right, where I just had surgery on my distal bicep. So I put a cup of this in and a cup of regular beef broth. Only 40 calories, but you're also getting 10 grams of protein per serving, and you're getting some electrolytes with the sodium and stuff, but you're also getting calcium. And when you get the distal bicep surgery, you know, they drill a hole into your bone. So getting that calcium in where you can get it is excellent. And if you look at the ingredients, I don't know how well that's going to come across or if that's going to focus at all. But it's very simple ingredients. You got beef broth, beef bones, organic onions, carrots, celery, parsley, apple cider vinegar, sea salt, black pepper, bay leaves, thyme, rosemary, and sea salt. So that's it. Very straightforward, and it's a great way to put some good nutrients in your body. The calcium, you know, to help that bone after it's been drilled in. And you got that screw put in, and also all that protein to help with the muscles. And if you notice right now, I'm not eating a whole lot of carbs. You know, generally I would by this time be eating carbs in my meal, especially if I've already trained today or whatever. But like I said, right now my main focus is nutrients. I want to get as many nutrients as I can, specifically protein. I want my protein to be, you know, as high as I can tolerate, but again, not being very active, not very hungry. So I added some hot sauce to this. I'm gonna finish it off and check in with you guys on the next one. Alright, so next meal, sticking to that heavy protein and nutrient deal. So this is the cinnamon roll whey protein from BPN, some almond breeze, unsweetened vanilla, and some frozen fruit. We're just gonna throw this together with a little hand blender, and that'll be the next meal. And there you go. Nice wrap. Right now I'm not tracking any calories. I'm just focused on getting high quality foods, full of nutrients and protein. So that's the next meal. You know, I'm still really not hungry, so we'll see what dinner's looking like.